If you've been reading up on ChatGPT, then you've probably seen articles like this that talk about the ways in which ChatGPT can help make software developers more productive. In this video, we're going to put that to the test. I'm going to try to build an iOS application in Swift with the help of ChatGPT, and I'm going to try to do it in less than 24 hours. Now, in that 24 hours, you should get 8 hours of sleep, so I'm going to try to do the actual build time less than 16 hours. I already have an idea for this application, so we won't be using ChatGPT in the idea generation process. However, we will be using it very heavily during the design and actual coding of this application. And just so we're clear, this will be a timed exercise, and I'm officially starting the timer now. I designed the user interface that I plan on building on a sheet of paper, and now I'm going to ChatGPT and I'm going to tell it exactly what specifications I want inside this user interface. I have no idea if this long prompt will actually work, but here's what it says. I am an iOS developer building an application using Swift and Swift UI. The application opens up with the main screen. The main screen will have 3 buttons on it, button 1, button 2, and button 3. Button 1 will navigate to a different view called View A. Button 2 will navigate to View B. Button 3 will navigate to View C. View A will display a list view that goes to View D when an item in the list is tapped. View D will also have a list view that will go to View E when an item is tapped and the button that navigates to View G is tapped. There's actually a lot more in here, and I'm not going to read the entire prompt to you, but we're going to go ahead and send this prompt and see what happens. Alright, so ChatGPT gives us some code we can use. It gives us our main screen that does have the 3 buttons on it that go to the different views, and then it gives us view A, which has a list view, and also it gives us views D, E, F, G, B, H, and C. And so I'm going to go ahead and create my project in Xcode and paste this code in, and we can see what this looks like and if it's working the way we want. And it also notes that this is a simplified version of the navigation structure that doesn't pass data between views, but we're going to customize this, including giving ChatGPT more prompts to help us build this app as fast as possible. Now here we have our content view, and we're going to paste in our code. So we'll just highlight all of this and paste in our code. You still need to have an understanding of the code that ChatGPT gives you. For example, this main section here should not be in this file. We have to put that into the file that bears your app's name. So we can go ahead and we can cut that, and then we can come here. Yeah, and you'll be getting an error saying it can't find content view. That's because we renamed it to main screen. So with that, everything should work, and let's go to the simulator. Right, so you can see here we have our main screen with our 3 buttons on it. So let's go to view A. Yes, this is our list view. And then you can look at the sub items. And then it'll eventually take you to view F. So I believe this is working as intended. I'll have to double check this against the UI that I wrote. Then we have our other views, and everything seems to be working as intended. This button will end up moving to the bottom of the screen, but everything's looking good so far. Yeah, so this is the skeleton of the UI generated by ChatGPT. I was able to make some edits to the app off camera, and now I'd like to talk to you a bit more about what this app will actually do. So far, the way I'm planning it, this app has 3 sections. One where you can manage tenants, one where you can stage a property using augmented reality and see what furniture or different furnishings will look like inside of your space. And you can also price a home improvement. So if you're thinking about adding a bathroom, then the app will be able to predict how much extra revenue you'll be able to bring in or how much property value you'll be able to add from that home improvement. So if we manage tenants, you'll be able to select which property, then you'll be able to select which tenants, and then I'll fill this in and you'll be able to update any tenant info or be able to track if they made their payment and if they're up to date on the payments. You can stage your property. So here we're going to have an augmented reality view, and you'll be able to add items to your view. And then we'll have pricing a home improvement where you can choose a property and you can choose a renovation, and then it'll give you a renovation report and tell you how much you think this renovation will increase the value of your home. So let's do a quick time check. We're still under an hour, and we have the skeleton of our user interface and an idea for our app in less than an hour. And that's the power of AI. It enables you to work a lot faster. So now we're actually going to start adding the meat and potatoes to this app, and let's get building. So it's about 9 hours later, and I've been working with ChatGPT off screen, and I'm going to show you where we're at in the app now. In this application, you're going to be able to virtually stage a space using augmented reality. creating 3D assets can be very time consuming and requires a lot of expertise to get it right. So once again, we're going to leverage the power of artificial intelligence in order to do this for us. We'll be using 3dfi.ai, and this is a website that effectively allows you to use text to 3D generation. So we'll be able to input a prompt, and then it will output a 3D model like we see here on the right. Just because we're not using ChatGPT, ChatGPT does not natively have the ability to generate 3D assets, but that doesn't mean it won't be helpful in this use case. We can still use ChatGPT to generate the descriptions for the furniture, and then we'll take these descriptions from ChatGPT, put it into 3DFI, and then we'll be able to generate our 3D assets. I've been using ChatGPT behind the scenes to both work on the functionality of the app and improve the user interface, and this is what we have so far. This is our minimum viable product, or MVP for short, and this is just a screen demo that I took from a physical device. You can see we have multiple options, and if you tap one of them, then you can add that piece of furniture to your space and use a rotation gesture to rotate it to get the orientation that you like. There's also a feature where you can track if tenants have made their payment, so you can go to a property, see what tenants you have there, and then you can track if they've made their payments in any particular month. Now let's see how long this actually took to build. Alright, so after creating the application and getting everything to a base level of functionality, this is how much time it took. 28 hours. So I definitely blew way past that 16-hour limit, but I don't lie in my videos and I give you an honest estimation of how long this actually took. This also doesn't include debugging some environment issues I had, since that wasn't specific to building the app, just some issues with Xcode I had to deal with. So 28 hours. And there's actually a lot of things I could have done to bring this time down, and I'll give you some tips on how you can develop your app even faster. So now I'm going to go through 5 tips that you can implement so that you can use ChatGPT more effectively in creating applications. The first tip I'm going to give you is to be specific with ChatGPT. So that goes for variable names, class names, etc. I just passed ChatGPT a very generic prompt, and you can see it's just using button 1, 2, and 3 and has very generic view names. You should be more precise in the names that you pass in, so it will give you code that's more usable, readable, and easy to adapt to your own use cases. The next tip I'll give you is to don't assume ChatGPT can't do something. Ask it and see if it can do something. You never know when it will be able to surprise you with this output. And I'll pass you another tip, and that's to be creative. Just because ChatGPT might not natively be able to do something, it might still be helpful in other ways. For example, ChatGPT can't render 3D assets, but it was able to generate descriptions that I could pass into another AI that could render 3D assets. The first tip I'll give you is that you can use ChatGPT to work in steps. So you can ask it to just explain how something works, or to just give you a high-level overview of how you can do something, and then in a later prompt you can actually ask it for more details on how to do that, and then it'll be able to generate output that you can understand, so you can better understand what you're doing and go through everything step by step. The fifth and final tip I'll give you is to ask ChatGPT for design inspiration. I passed in a prompt where I asked it for some potential color schemes that could look good in the iOS app, and it gave me some options. And then you can generate follow-up prompts where you can just elaborate on these and get more ideas, and even turn these into code by using that step process that I talked about earlier. Here we have our application live on the App Store. The name of the application is PropStager, and we were able to implement all the features we discussed earlier, where you can use augmented reality to add furniture to a property, track when tenants make their rent payments, and you can use our algorithm where you can estimate the increase in your home's value due to implementing various renovations. And this icon was even the result of using artificial intelligence to generate our icon, or our logo, which I did not include in the video just for the sake of time, but that's another use case where artificial intelligence can help you develop assets faster. And here we have our description where we describe each of our features. The interesting thing about this app is, from a privacy perspective, it does not collect any of your data, so we're good there. This video was meant to show you how you can use artificial intelligence really in every stage of the software development lifecycle, so you can create more interesting applications and bring them to market and decrease the total amount of time that it takes to do so. This is the 100th episode of Revarnos that I'm about to upload, so thank you for watching, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We have a lot of content on this page about app development, Python data analytics, programming, Raspberry Pi development, and so many other things. So make sure you check out our playlist and be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can get an update every time we upload. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.